Theater is such a wonderful historic artifact. Lynchburg really cannot afford to lose it, and they really should honor the generations from the early 20th century who understood and loved and respected the arts. I started going to those movie palaces, and by the time I was 4, I was at McVicker's Theater in downtown Chicago because I had won the citywide competition. And I remember going out on the stage, and this spotlight hit me, and it's, yeah, this is where I belong. And I didn't get that feeling again until the first show I was in on Broadway opened, and the curtains parted, and a zillion watts of lights hit us, and the same feeling. When I was in my senior year in high school, I was in all the shows, of course, and somebody started a big band, and they asked me if I wanted to be the singer. And we got paid $1 a piece per Saturday. And McHenry was 50 miles away from Chicago, but that's how I got started in the band business. I was such a success in McHenry, Illinois, that I thought I should go see some agents downtown. So I started visiting agents, and before I was 17, I was a professional. And that's how I started doing group singing, which later in Hollywood led to working at Disney and doing the Donald Duck cartoons, and then working at MGM and doing big musicals. I obviously wasn't the Hollywood type. I'll tell you the kind of thing that used to happen to me at Hollywood. I went for an interview and found out that Marilyn Monroe was up for the same role. So guess who got it? You know? So I thought, that doesn't happen on the stage, but in the movies it's crucial. So I wasn't that type, and I thought, I'm never going to make it in Hollywood. I stopped in Chicago on my way to New York. And by this time, my old friend from vaudeville, Burr Tillstrom, was on television with Kukla and Ollie. So Burr wanted me to stay back in Chicago, and he set me up with a television show with a musical trio, and Charlie wrote this little script, and very often I would be in scenes with people just like me who a year or two later were stars on Broadway. And then I ran into Gene Kelly, and he said, I'm doing some recording for an upcoming movie. I don't know where we're going to use it, but if you want a day's work, come and sing. So I sang for the day, and then shortly after that I went to New York. And I didn't know until 20 years later, when I first saw the movie, I was in that movie. I think real theater goers understand that the performance they're seeing will never be seen again, was never seen before. It's one time only, even if the show has been running for 5 years. That's why live theater is so wonderful. It's a whole different experience, unlike a movie or a television show, which is frozen. The Academy has an incredibly rich history. If this place were haunted, it would be haunted by the creme de la creme. The cultural fountain of the people existed in this theater in Lynchburg. This was it. That's how I feel about this theater. I love this theater. and I love its possibilities.